Here's my recap on NeverButter's What If BFB Never Split 17 to 25 1.0. Because it was debut for Teapot, there will be a debut for this episode. Winner joins and joins Beep. Because they have the longest winning streak, Death Pact finally loses. However, in a shocking twist, 4 eggs make the last team safe, free food, also up for elimination. Apparently future episodes will be like this, just like Teapot 3. While people could argue that a better than that and the losers could also lose, they both have their arcs going on.
Take out stick.
First team up for elimination is Death Pact. The first contestant safe is Pen, then Remote, then Tree, then Black Hole, and finally Pie. So now it's down to Pillow and Bottle. Pillow was surprisingly outshined by Pie, while Bottle was irritating. It is a toss-up, but the last contestant safe is Pillow. Fans at the time chose Bland over Annoying. Bottle places 53rd. Next team up for elimination is Free Food. The first contestant safe is Eraser, then Marker, then Bell, then Puffball, and finally Fries. So now it's down to 40 and Yellowface. 40 was trying her best to defend herself against Iance, which garners a lot of backlash, and Yellowface is a non-object. So while it would be possible for him to be eliminated, 40 is much more hated. 40 is eliminated at 52nd. Fans have dogpiled on her after seeing what she did to Iance in BFB 11. The 18th contest is to destroy another team's tower. From this point on, all episodes made after that will be like BFB 17, or in the canon world, Teapot 3. This is very shocking at first, but people will get used to it. The first 2 teams to have their towers destroyed are up for elimination. Iance is the first team to have their tower destroyed. The losers also lose. First team up for elimination is Iance. The first contestant safe is Lightning, then Ruby, then Bubble, and finally Fanny. So it looks like a BFDI veteran is going to be eliminated. It's down to Flower and Snowball. Flower had a violent history, and Snowball's still mean. Flower survives by a sizable margin. Snowball places 51st. Next team up for elimination is the losers. Pen is the first one safe. Next is Coiny, then Leafy, then Fiery, then Cake, and finally Needle. So now it's down to Clock and Eggy. The last contestant safe is Clock because he's not as hated as Eggy. Eggy places 50th. The 19th challenge is to grow aloe vera. There are so many ways to grow this plant, but better than that is the only one that succeeds. And everybody decided that one of the teams who lost last time would lose twice, and in a row. And that team is the losers. The second team who loses is Death Pact.
I ain't giving up. There's cake at stake, Louis.
First team up for elimination is the losers. Pen is the first one safe, then Coiny, then Fiery, then Leafy, and finally Needle. So now it's down to Cake and Clock. Both of them are minor contestants. But recently Clock has been getting more screen time, so Cake is eliminated. Cake is at 49th. Next team up for elimination is Death Pact. Pen is the first one safe, and so is Remote, and Tree, and finally Black Hole. So now it's down to Pillow and Pie. Like Cake, both of them are minor characters. While Pie could start to see some improvements, Pillow hasn't started to become psychotic yet. Anyways, the last contestant safe is Pie. Pillow places 48th. The 20th contest is Cool X Down. The 2 teams who do the worst are up for elimination. The first team to lose is a better than that. The next team who loses is the team with the longest winning streak, Beep.
I ain't giving up. Cake and steak, Louis.
First team up for elimination is a better name than that. The first contestant safe is Tennis Ball. Next contestant safe is Blocky, then Robot Flower, then Basketball, and finally Golf Ball. So now it's down to TV and Grassy. NeverButter believed that last time, Golf Ball's votes were rigged. Not to mention Robot Flower and Basketball have finished up their arc. TV and Grassy are minor characters, especially in this timeline where Snowball never teams up with Grassy. It can be a toss-up, but the last contestant safe is Grassy, the leader of Supernova. TV, the leader of the Saturn Stars, is placed at 47th. Next team up for elimination is Beep. The first contestant safe is Cloudy, and so is Winner, then Woody, and finally Nickel. So now it's down to Balloony and Rocky. While Balloony seems to be a vote magnet for no reason, the choice is quite obvious. Rocky is eliminated at 46th. The 21st challenge is to give a gift for one person on your team. The 2 people who rate the worst are for elimination. While they still have 7 members, don't know how to communicate with each other very well. So they're the first team to lose, and Free Food loses for the first time since losing 40.
I ain't giving up. Cake and steak, Louis.
First team up for elimination is the last team with 7 members, and that team is... The first contestant safe is Ice Cube, then Teardrop, then Saw, then Taco, and finally Bug, because the Taco Bug arc has been resolved. Now it's down to Gatey and Lollipop. While Lollipop is annoying, Gatey is boring. It could go either way, but surprisingly, the last contestant safe is Lollipop. Gatey is eliminated after a very close vote, placing 45th. Next team up for elimination is Free Food. The first contestant safe is Eraser, then Marker, then Bell, and finally Fries. So now it's down to Yellowface and Puffball. Both of them are BFDIA veterans. Even though BFDIA 5e and BFB 8 were a long time ago as of this point, people still hold a grudge against Puffball. And Yellowface is still a non-object. The last contestant safe is Puffball. Yellowface is eliminated at 44th. The season has gone on for far too long without a rejoin. The teams stole one item from one another, so for the 20-second contest, you have to guess which team stole the item from one another. Instead of making it so that the first team to win will get a rejoiner, it makes it so that the last two teams who finish will be up for elimination. The losers cannot identify a culprit, so they lose. And Team Ice Cube, despite having 5 members, loses for the first time in 7 episodes.
I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up. Cake and steak, Louis.
First team up for elimination is the losers. The first contestant safe is Coiny, then Pan, then Leafy, and finally Needle. So now it's down to Quack and Fiery. Fiery is irrelevant because the Fiery arc is finished, and Quack is the most hated contestant on the team. It is a hot take, but the last contestant safe is Quack. Fiery is eliminated after placing 43rd. The first contestant set up on the next team up for elimination, which is Team Ice Cube, is Barf Bag, then Bombi, and finally Naily. So now it's down to Gelatin and Donut. It looks like a BFDIA veteran is being eliminated. While Gelatin is acting childish, Donut is a vote magnet. And with that, the last contestant safe is Donut. And Gelatin places 42nd. Now there's as many people in Teapot 1. The 23rd contest is to free one of your teammates from prison. The last team to do so will be up for elimination. Ions loses due to being uncoordinated. And without a clear order, Beep is the second team to lose.
I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up. Cake and steak, Louis.
First team up for elimination is Beep, and the first contestant safe is Woody, then Winner, and finally Cloudy. So now it's down to Balloony and Nickel. Both of them, while all of them are already unpopular, are the most unpopular. Balloony is a vote magnet, while Nickel is zany, unlike pre-revival BFDIA. It is easy that both of them will be eliminated, and the last contestant safe is Balloony. Nickel places 41st. Next to up for elimination is Ions, and the first contestant safe is Ruby, then Lightning, and finally Fanny. So a BFDI veteran is being eliminated. It's down to Bubble and Flower. While Flower is hated, Bubble is irritating. The last contestant safe in a very close vote is Flower. Bubble places 40th. At last, we're finally gonna have a rejoin in BFB 24. And the team who makes the best party for 4 is Team Ice Cube.
I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up.
I think I'm gonna give up.
Because 26 characters will take too long, we'll skip to the top 5. All of these characters were eliminated before the split happened. Spongy is unfortunately the first one with a boot. Despite placing very high, Lai is 4th. And despite being the first person eliminated, Pencil still doesn't rejoin. So now it's down to Bracelety and Loser. While Bracelety is supported by a large Inquisition, many people see Loser's elimination as unfair. And to add to that, Bracelety was eliminated as a member of Team Ice Cube. And with that, rejoining the game is Bracelety. It's like Team Ice Cube never lost anyone since BFB 17. It would be quite odd that BFB 24 had a rejoin, when in the Catnip episode it didn't. Surprisingly, the teams are gonna merge after this, but instead of a points phase, the next team is gonna have a 14 phase. Team Ice Cube will entirely join Death Pact. Then the rest of the mergers are quick. Merges with Beep, Free Food merges with the losers, and better than that merges with Ions. Now there are 4 teams of 10. But NeverButter still keeps double eliminations, despite a perfect opportunity to better back to single eliminations. The 25th challenge will be to find a totem for the Archaic Temple. If you find a blessed one, you're safe. But if you find a cursed one, you're up for elimination. By random selection, Ions and Beep are up for elimination. The first team up for elimination is Ions, and the first contestant safe is Tennis Ball, then Ruby, then Lightning, then Blocky, then Basketball, then Fanny, then Grassy, and finally Golf Ball. So now it's down to Robot Fire and Flower. Quite a convenience. Flower is still quite hated, and Robot Flower is a non-object. And with that logic, the last contestant safe is Flower. Robot Flower places 40th. Next team up for elimination is Beep. Here we have the safe contestants, which are Teardrop, Cloudy, Woody, Winner, Saw, Taco, Balloony, and Book. So now it's down to Ice Cube and Lollipop. Ice Cube is still uninteresting and Lollipop is still annoying. And with that, the last contestant safe is Lollipop. Ice Cube is the last contestant eliminated at Part 1, who places 39th. Well, that's it for Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2, which lasts from episodes 26 to 36. And don't forget, not only is this made by NeverButter, it is also outdated. And as always, I'll see you in the next What If. Goodbye, everyone!